Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, or wherever you find yourself on planet Earth. This is EsthyTech, and if you're coming across my channel for the very first time, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. And if you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say welcome back. So today, I would like us to actually configure AWS CLI with a specific IAM user. That is to say, we're going to create an IAM user, and we're also going to create an IAM group, and we're going to configure CLI using that specific IAM user that we created. So let's just hop right into the channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you are new, you want to make sure that you click the red subscribe button below and also click the notification bell for an update so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. So let's hop right into the video. So in this video, or the purpose of this video, is for me to go ahead and show you, all the goal for this lab is for me to share with you how we can configure AWS Command Line Interface with specific AWS IAM user credential. So the prerequisite, or what we need for this lab to be completed, is for us to have an AWS account. I have already logged into my AWS account, and for those of you guys that don't have AWS account, and you're trying to see how you can create an AWS account, there's a lot of video out there on how you can create an AWS account. I myself also have a video on how you can create an AWS account. So you want to click on my previous video on how to create AWS account. Once you have your AWS account, you want to log in, and let's go ahead and complete the goal of the lab. So after that, you also have to have basic AWS IAM user knowledge. Okay, you need to have that before we can go ahead. So we need to first of all create an IAM user with a permission, because we cannot use IAM user credential to configure AWS Command Line Interface without us having an IAM user. Okay, so since we have on our account, we have already created, we want to create an IAM user with a specific permission. So we're going to go ahead and create an IAM group with administrative access. So I'm going to share with you guys how we can go ahead and accomplish this task. So what we need to do right now, we want to type on the search bar once you're on your AWS account and you don't have any resources on your AWS home console. You just want to go ahead and type. So now we're going to go ahead at the search bar. We type I am user, just like we were doing before. We have that interruption. So we're going to click on I am user. Once you click on I am user, it will take you to, there is a lot of other configuration that we have not done with this particular account. Like I said, I have multiple. My real account has all the configuration already, but this particular account doesn't have those configuration. So now I already have some user group users rules and whatnot. But for the purpose of this video, like I said, we want to actually go ahead and create or configure AWS CLI with specific AWS IAM user credential. So now, taking you through this process, we're going to go here because we need to first of all have to give some permission, and by doing that, we have to create a group. So like we said, we're going to create a group with an administrative access. So we're going to click on user group. Okay, once you click on user group, I have some other groups here. We're going to go ahead and click on create group. Can you see? We click on create group. Once we have create group, we're just going to go ahead and name our group. So for this purpose, I'm going to give the group AWS. I'm going to name the group AWS CLI, AWS CLI group. You can name it based on the specific task you're trying to accomplish. Okay, so that's the name I'm going to give, and you have to respect the naming convention. You can see it's a maximum of 128 characters. You want to make sure that you respect that. Okay, just go ahead and read it. So that's the name I'm giving, simple name. So now we're going to go ahead, after we have the name that we have created, right? We want to go ahead and select the permission. So yeah, we have to attach user. Okay, let me bring this thing very well. So now we have this, we have to go ahead, add a user to the group. So now this is a group we are trying to create. So they're asking us to add a user to this group. Remember, in this page, we don't want to add a user to our group yet because we don't have the user. I want to demonstrate to you how we can also create the user before we add the user to our group. You can always create a user, then add you create a group, then add a user. It doesn't really matter. So right now I'm going to skip this page. I'm going to skip this attachment part. So we're going to go to this part. We want to give administrative access. Like I said, this is it, the access that we want to give administrative access. So we're just going to go ahead and type the very first one. That's the access that we want to give administrative access. Once we have the administrative access, right, you just want to go ahead and click on create a user group, and our group is being created. Can you see? Now we have a new group called AWS CLI group. So that is a group, and our group has one permission. I don't know why is it highlighting when you have an highlight. Okay, it's just now it's newly created. So it has a permission, and the permission that we have is administrative because we give administrative group, right? So our group have one permission. So we're going to go ahead now and create a user. Then we're going to add this user to the group. So let's go ahead. Once we have this, we're just going to go toggle on your on the panel side, on the right hand side panel. You just want to go ahead on your toolbar and click on users. So now we have users. So we are going to try type on the user section, it will show us create user. So we're going to click here and create user. So when we click on create user, you're going to see user details. So that's where we want to go and input our usernames. So now once you input your username, you want to go ahead, provide users access to AWS management console because we want them to have access to our console. We want to use like our IDE, like for example, you have Visual Studio Code or whatever code editor you are actually using. So in my case, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. So we want to provide our user access with the management console also. So we're gonna click on that. So once we click on that, they are asking us specify its users to identify to the identity center. They're asking recommended. So no, we don't want to use that option. I want to create an IAM user because that's what we want to do. So we create an IAM user, you click there. And once you click on you want to create an IAM user, it's going to ask you want to auto generate password, you want to do custom password, or what options do you want to do? Okay. So that's just the questions they are asking you. So you want to just allow auto generate password if you, in case you want. But if you don't, you can also use that. Then this you also have to click here for user must create a new password at next sign on if you want that. But I don't want them to create a new password at next sign up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click on will it will give me a secure password. Okay, so I just have to uncheck the option user must create a new password at the next entry because I don't want it. I just want to go ahead and just go ahead and log in using my secret and access key. That's what I want to use for this user. But these are other possibility and other option. You can go ahead and give your custom directly from here. But these are all the options that we need. So we just want to go ahead with this access. So we're going to go ahead now and click on next. Okay. So we click on next. And once we click on next right now, we have to set our permission. So that's what we want to do. We are setting permission. So you can add user to group, or you can copy permission, or you can attach permission. There's a lot of way. Most of the time I usually use my attach policy directly, but in this scenario we already have a group. I am user group. So we want to add this user to the group that we already created, which was this. So we're gonna I'll choose the first option so that we click on this. And once we click on that, right? Once we click on that, you can always search for the name of the group sheet in case it's not displayed down here. You can always search here for the name of the group, but of course I can see the name of the group. I don't need to search that. I just have to click there. And once you click that, you just want to go ahead and preview. Like you can say, they say preview. You can preview everything to make sure that your configurations were all set. So once you're done with that, you just want to go ahead and click on next. And once you click on next, right, you will go ahead and click on create user. Okay. Okay. And now when we click on create user, you can see our user was created successfully. So now that our user was created successfully, it didn't take us any time. And maybe if you have a bad network system, it's going to delay, but it doesn't take me any second to create it. So with that successful creation of a user, and you have attached a user to a particular group, and we have also created a group. Now we want to go ahead and download our credential. Okay, so this is our username. This is it, and we have our password here. You can click here to see your password. Okay, because it auto generate me a password, but I don't want to click there. You can go ahead and copy this thing. So I can open my notepad. Let's open my notepad. Hold on. I have a lot of notepad open in here. I don't like that. Okay, I have so many windows of notepad. Do not save. Yep, I just want. Okay, so you can go ahead now and hold on. I just want to. You can copy your username. I copy my username, paste them on your notepad so that you don't forget that. Copy this one and paste it here. Okay, so I actually copy my password. Type paste W password. Okay, password. Okay, password and username. User. I'm just trying to keep the information on my data. Okay, like on your notepad. So once, or you can singly copy them and paste on your notepad, and you can also download the CSV file. You can click on download. So now that you have downloaded it, you can now go ahead and save it on your device. Okay, your student credential. So it's okay. I have that there. So let me take that out of the way. So now that I have successfully created my user account, I just want to go ahead with the next step for us to create our IAM user password. Oh my God. Okay. Once we have successfully created and downloaded our CSV file and our username and password, we want to go ahead and sign out of this account so that we will be able to use the new user that we have created to log in as a new user. Then we can go ahead and try to use the new user to configure AWS Command Line Interface. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and remember that's the name of the user we're gonna be we're gonna be using student AWS CLI. Okay, so we're gonna sign out from here. So click sign out. Okay, now that we click sign out, we can go ahead and click on sign in. So clicking on sign in, it took us to this page and it's asking us we want to sign in as which user. So now we want to sign in not as this user but as our new user. So the name of our new user, let me see. I did not save the name of the new user yet. So the name of the new user that we want to use to sign in, it was actually student. So let me open my notepad where I have that information. So it was actually student CLI. So I'm going to copy that and I will paste that here, student. Then now we're going to go ahead and copy the password. Okay. Copy the password. Then I remove this old password. Then I paste here. So now you just want to make sure that there is no space when you copy your password or login in. They just want to go ahead. You will have the alien name of your root account that will appear here, or your account ID. That's for the root account, okay? Either the name or the ID that you're using. So that's my ID, but I'm going to cover my ID so that people will not have access to it. Then you want to click on sign in. So when we click on sign in, it's taking us there. So it's asking me if I want to save my login details. I don't want to, not not now. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to be using this probably for video. So let me say save. So I just save in that credential. So now I have login. Look at, if you want to check at this account, you will see we have checked in as a new user, which is the student AWS CLI. That's the user that we have logging into. So now remember, we don't have any resources that we have explored with this user. That is why you can see my home screen has no resources. We haven't visited any resources yet. So that is why it's like this. So now let's go ahead and complete our task. So now that we have logged into our account, we want to go ahead and configure AWS Command Line Interface locally with this IAM user credential. So for us to use the command line to provision resources in AWS, we need to configure access key and secret key, okay, of a specific user locally. Then we were going to use the access key and the secret key now to log in our AWS account. That will allow us to connect to AWS account. And we are only doing that is because we want to log in using the locally. We want to sign in locally, like using our Visual Studio Code. Like you can sign remotely to your AWS account using Visual Studio Code, right? So that is the essence of this particular video. And we, for us to actually do that, we must need an access key and a secret key to actually connect. So we're going to go ahead and create our access key. And we are actually doing that because we want to create resources like AC2, Visuals, VPC, all those resources we want to create, and we want to use our command line interface. Like you want to use the command line interface. So now we're going to click here. Can you see toggle your account where you have your username? You're going to see security credential. You can click here, and there's another option that you can just type I am user. Then you go to the I am user and click on access. But you can still do it directly from here by clicking on security credential. So when you click on security credential, of course, it's one of the security method. So they're asking of MFS authenticator, but I don't want to do that. It's okay. So we're gonna go ahead right now to create in our user. We select the user, right? User. So this is a user. We are student. This is a user that we are using. So now we are using this user. We don't have security credential, so we want to go ahead and create our security credential. So we're going to click here. Can you see after the permission you have group and tag? So after tag we have security credential. So you want to click there. And when you click on security credential, you want to go ahead and just check for access key. Can you see access key? You can click on the center to create access key, or you can also click here to create access key. It doesn't matter wherever you click. So when you click on create access key, it will take us to this section where we have to input the parameters. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and just select the command line because we want to use with the command line interface, AWS command line interface, to access our AWS account like remotely, right? So now we're gonna click that. So once we click both recommendation and I want to proceed, okay, so when just a confirmation, so you click there and click on next. Once you click on next, they're asking you to give a description of this. So you can just go ahead and say student, any description doesn't really matter. Okay, so you can just go ahead and say student access, oh, sorry, student access key. Okay, so now that's the name that we have, student access dash key. So now that we have that, we just want to go ahead and click on create and our key will be created. So we click on create, and now you can see we have access key created. So now our access key is created. We have our access key and our secret key. You only have this, it will show just once. If you don't save your access key and your secret key, you will never have access to it again. So you have to save it. So for us to go ahead and actually do that, we have to copy. First of all, you can still use your notepad, copy them. I copy that on my notepad. Okay, let me identify everything. I'm gonna say access key. So I'm actually using my access key. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and paste that access key. Then I'm gonna go again down and type secret key, okay, for that user. So we're gonna go ahead and copy this secret key also. When you copy the secret key also, I'm gonna paste it here. They also want to go ahead and download the CSV file. Okay, so once we are done creating that, we want to go ahead and I click on confirm. Like we'll click on confirm by clicking download. Okay, I mean done. So once we click on done, we have our access key now. We can now go ahead and configure AWS command line with our asset and our secret key that we have created. So I'm going to take you to that route now that we're going to create like an example. Probably we want to provision a resource, or we just verify to make sure that was actually created. Okay, so now I am going to take you to my Visual Studio Code where we can use our terminal and run some particular command to make sure that AWS was actually configured. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to my stop this record. Okay, now we are in Visual Studio Code. I just want to I just open your IDE. Okay, when you open your IDE, you just want to go ahead. For example, I have Visual Studio Code here. I'm just gonna go ahead and like click on create new. Let me see, yeah. New terminal. We're just gonna open new terminal. Okay, so now that I have this new terminal open, I open the terminal section. So in the terminal section, you just want to go ahead and run AWS configure. Okay, AWS configure. So click on enter. Okay, once you click AWS configure, it will tell you for you to input your access key. Yep, you have that. So you just want to go ahead and place your access key. Just copy it and paste. Okay, you click on enter. Now, once you click on enter, they will ask you for the secret key. So we're gonna go ahead and take a secret key. Also copy your secret key. Copy, and then I'm gonna come here and paste. You right click to paste. When you copy, you just right click, excuse me, and it will paste. So once we get that out of the way, you click on enter, okay? It will tell you the region. So we just want to maintain it. So the default region, North Virginia. So we're just gonna say, let's go back to, I know you're not gonna see this. I just want to go back to my account to check my region. Okay. And remember, I have one thing to say. IAM user is actually global, okay? So now I just want to go ahead and change my region. Going back to with the IAM user is global, so you can use the IAM user everywhere. So I'm using North Virginia, so I'm gonna copy US. He doesn't. I want to copy. Okay, since I'm trying to copy that, it's kind of trying to hinder me for performing that activity. So I'm just gonna go ahead and type. Where is it? Where is my Visual Studio Code, guys? Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and type. Or if you don't want to type, it's already showing default, right? You can just enter. It automatically telling them that I am using US is one. So if you're not using US is one, you're actually using maybe something else. You want to paste what you're using there. So that is what is showing. So I'm okay. I'm also okay with JSON. I don't need to say JSON. I just have to click on enter. And now that I click on enter, everything is okay. So now you can see that we have actually went ahead and create our IAM user, and we are using our IAM user to configure AWS Command Line Interface locally. So we just did that. So now that's the task. That was the purpose of what we were trying to do. Like the goal of this video was for us to actually configure the IAM AWS CLI with a specific IAM user, and that's what we just did. We just configure it, and we can use now this console to work with our account, so we can perform tasks, we can create things using our terminal. So for us to actually verify or test the work to make sure that it was successfully created. So we can go ahead and type the command for us to list our IAM user that we have. So we can go ahead and just run the command AWS. Let's come here and write AWS IAM list dash users. Okay, users dash users. Then you click enter. It will list all the users that are available on your account. So you can see the users that I have. We have the users, and it lists the users and their user password, their credential. I'm blending them because I don't want you to see the credential. So you can see the names of my user, Katana, Igby. You can see the name of all the users that I have. Student, this is the last one that we have, student. So it's actually listing this user. So if we actually go back to our management console, you will see that we have all this user that is being listed here. So we have just accessed our account, an AWS account, through our command line interface. That means remotely. Okay. So that is it. So we can also go ahead. So okay. We can also list the group. After listing our user, we can go ahead and list the group. And for us to accomplish that, we can just go ahead and run the command AWS IAM list group. That's all. So when we click on that, you will see the group that we just created. We have two groups. We have the first group that we saw on our account, and this other group, AWS CLI group. Those are the group and their ID. So you can go ahead and see everything and the date it was created. So that is just it. So I hope this video was helpful and you were able to understand the task or the project we just performed. And if you are actually new to my channel, like I always said, I just want to say thank you for joining. And if you haven't subscribed, you just want to go ahead and click the red subscribe button and also click the notification bell for an update so that you'll be notified each time I create a new video. Okay, so now that we have our AWS account created and we also have our group created, we have permission that we assign to our users, we have configured the AWS command line. We are going to go ahead in the upcoming video that I'll be creating for us to actually use our command line to exploit AWS resources. So we're going to be using our command line to actually exploit AWS resources. So I don't know the resources I'll be creating next, but I'm going to create a lot of resources. For example, we're going to create the EC. So thank you for watching in. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Okay, if you were able to watch this video up to this very end, I hope you were able to learn something today. And I just want to say, keep fighting, keep pushing for your journey into the tech, because there's a better future ahead of you guys. So stay tuned for more upcoming video, because I'm going to be making a lot of exciting video. And if you have a recommendation for me and you want me to make a particular video on AWS, you just want to drop the video on the topic you want me to explain, and I will explain the topic better. So thank you all for watching. Love you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, like I said, you want to make sure that you click the red subscribe button below and also click the notification bell for an update. Thank you all for watching. Love you guys. Ciao.
Let's build the future. One line of code, one dream at a time. From the cloud to the console, the rhythm flows. Innovation lives where the knowledge grows. EsthyTech, your tech journey starts here. Code it, dream it, live it. One line of code, one dream at a time. From the rhythm flows. Innovation lives where the knowledge grows.